A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we kick off the new year with an NFC North matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Rodgers going to come out throwing. This one swung out here to Jones. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there, and you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1, a lot more to go. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now it's Rodgers. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Packers! Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Hey, no, easy. First.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
The Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener, and they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all 3 of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, they'll host Detroit in week 3 and then Chicago in week 5.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins now. Open here, Adam Thielen. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Listen to me.
They go play action. Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Gun.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Hey, flicker.
A first carry here for Kene Nwangu. He'll get this down to the 38.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Wide. Gun.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Play fake. Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Devontae Wyatt.
That is one that he will remember. His first career sack in his first career game in the National Football League.
I always love the opening game of the season, and for the players, always nice to get those firsts out of the way, isn't it? How about here? The first sack of the season. Not just in the first game, but in the opening drive. That's the way to get things kicked off.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Yellow. Good route here. Two.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes.
Past the 20. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
From the 10. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Gun. Hey, we're good, we're good. Right there.
On play action, Cousins.
Drops this off with Nwangu.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Hey, no, easy. First. Black.
Cousins now from the 50.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
300.
On third down, Cousins.
Going for Jefferson downfield.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
Listen to me. Slide. Hey, gang. Yellow. Through.
Fourth down, Cousins. That's to his running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they get another shot here with a 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, 88.
They'll go again to Jones. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Rodgers now to throw. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
2021 wasn't quite the 11-touchdown outburst that we saw from Robert Tunyon the year prior. A torn ACL cost him half his season, and the Packers still believe he can be the impact player he was 2 years ago after his rehab. Pretty impactful play on that one, and it will move the chains.
And it's a Packers touchdown. Christian Watson making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown at his NFL debut. And the Packers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
Packers 21, Vikings nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Cousins. That's complete to Chandler on the check down. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Play action now. Cousins. Toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet inbounds.
First and 10 at the 49.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Gun.
Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And he's got room, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A pretty well-executed run there, Thomas, yesterday, Charles. They were hoping to get everybody in sync, the line, the backs, and everybody looked in sync on that play.
They were in sync, and the field tilted. And that's where we get the term running downhill because when you've got that kind of momentum and everyone's doing it properly as you just described, it does feel like they are coming from downhill to you as a defender, and that is really hard to stop.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and, you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute. But did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it. And afterwards, they'll say, there is never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one. It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 47 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10.
On play action. Now Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And got his man complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Even later into his career now, there aren't too many guys that can launch it downfield with accuracy better than Aaron Rodgers.
And this is more of the same right here. These guys have definitely been the aggressors here in the first half. They pushed the envelope in terms of play calls, and that's reflected in the score. And now they're in a position to widen this lead.
And that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Slot man moves right.
26. Second down, another shot for Jones.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Jones. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Jones. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Aaron Jones, as the first half is winding down. And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Leave it. Bring it, 48. Hey, we're good.
Final play of the half, Cousins. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he returns this to the 22.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
First. Gun.
Cousins.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
Handoff right side to Wangu.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off the play fake, Cousins.
That'll be complete to the running back, Nwangu. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Hey, Ringo, 48. Hey, yo. Hey, Steeler.
Cousins now to throw on first down.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Gun.
The slot man in motion right.
Watch. Hey, can.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
To throw, Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Joseph's got it, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Rodgers. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
An inside give to Jones. 69 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he only manages a couple here, down to about the 38-yard line.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win, and the defense got it.
And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
26.
Now they'll They'll throw with Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Second and 10, third quarter of the season opener.
Up the middle, Jones. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. To throw is Rodgers. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on third down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
Aaron Jones.
Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And they open the lead up now to 25. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second and 11.
Zebra.
Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage.
And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stairs on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And, oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
And some room to work. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
106 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the deep.
He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers.
A great play there. Now with his 3rd touchdown in his first ever NFL game.
And the Packers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Gun. First. Leave it. Bring up 48.
Throwing. Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Rasul Douglas picks it.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now Crosby for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Packers 49, Vikings 10.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. A first down throw for Cousins. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Gun. Black.
Cousins now.
Got an open man finding Jefferson.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Over. Jump out.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. After the penalty, it's Jones.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On play action, it's Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. On now is the Packers punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner.
And this is going to be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Gun. Hey, can't. Yellow.
Throwing is Cousins.
Hawkinson crossing the middle and bringing it in. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
First down, here's Cousins. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Now Cousins. And that is caught. And they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Well, this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, yeah, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone.
And he's going to be out of bounds on the return way back at the 11.
At their own 11-yard line.
Rodgers looking to throw.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.